What's up, guys? Welcome to Traveling to Consciousness. I'm Clayton, and on this channel we talk about consciousness and we talk about all the aspects kind of around mental health and how to get you into a better mindset and frame of reality. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead, smash the like button. In this video, we're going to talk about the levels of attachment and how we can kind of alleviate ourselves from attachment to understand and live up to our full potential in this reality. So I'd like to start off though by kind of giving you a metaphor or an example of this. The place that you kind of want to be is this place of non-attachment, right? You don't want to be attached to things. It keeps you heavy in this reality. As an example, let's use sporting events as a good example. Usually what happens is that you have a team for yourself. Let's say it's soccer, let's say it's football, let's say it's basketball. And this team, you become attached to them. You become identified with them. You hear this when people talk and they say, we are doing this, or we're not going to make the playoffs, or we're doing well this year. This is a level of attachment. You see the most fanatic usually in like European soccer, where if a ref makes a bad call, sometimes the fans will go out and actually kind of kill the ref. This has happened before. This has happened many times. What occurs here is this is probably the deepest level of attachment. You've become so attached to a team that you're willing to kill for it. You see this with things like a religion. You see this with ideologies. You become so attached to an ideology that you'd be willing to kill for it. This is the deepest level of attachment. And now the next level up, using the sports metaphor, is that you're not attached to a team. You are just purely enjoying the game for what it is. In this scenario, you've now released your attachment to the team. You are just there to watch the game. You're there to watch people perform at the highest level of their capability. And so this is a good metaphor to use to kind of show you how you can kind of transcend the level of attachment. Now, this kind of ties into the whole letting go. If you're unable to let go of things, sometimes you'll hold on to items that you don't really need. You become attached to them. You look at them, you haven't used them in a year or two, and you find yourself thinking like, why can't I just let go of this? Why do I still have to hold on to this thing? Why is it that I get this feeling, let's say in my stomach or in my body, that makes me hold on to this item? And so these are just forms of attachment. You become attached to these things. Now in reality, there's no reason to ever be attached to things. You can see this in relationships as well. You hear this when people are like, I can't live without you, you complete me. These are all becoming attached to things that aren't you. Well, that's kind of a weird way to put it, but let's put it like this. In reality, you are the universe being aware and recognizing itself. So if you become attached to something that's outside of you, you're giving your power to this external object, whatever it may be. Whether it's a religion, an ideology, a sports team, another person even. I know this is difficult. I know this might invoke some like anxiety or fear or whatnot, but I think it's a super important aspect of reality to acknowledge and to be aware of, is letting go of these attachments. Because if you become attached to things, it'll only impede your life. One of the most difficult things we have is just the letting go and being able to say, okay, this wasn't for me, there's something better. Because I've realized in my life that anytime I've let go of something that wasn't right, it wasn't meant to be, I found myself on the other end with something better, something more for me, something that was right. So with that being said, let go of attachments, try to find where you attach or identify with anything outside of yourself. And this rabbit hole can actually go pretty deep. You can identify with a job. You're not a job. You can identify with a favorite shirt. So I just want to say, try to pay attention to some of your attachments. Maybe drop in the comments below what you're attached to. Maybe it's clothes, maybe it's a sports team. Try to look for these things. With that being said, if you learned something, I encourage you to smash the subscribe button. And other than that, let's grow together.